Aloha everyone, this is Christina Martini here on Maui, Shala Santosha, Ashtanga Yoga Therapy and Wellness. Today we're going to go ahead and share some more tips and tutorials to how to keep our hips and our hip joints healthy, longevity, elastic, and mobile to all the activities that we do with our hips. Hip is a very important part of our body structure and our foundations of our body, as it helps carry us through the daily activities of our lives each day. And I know that hips also could be one of the most tight and with tension and stress and lots of emotions that linger in that area. So without further ado, here are some amazing ways that you could take breath, yoga, meditative movements into your body and your hips. So we'll begin with just first coming into a seated pose, and again just opening up your feet and coming into what's known as a butterfly pose for a moment before we stand up. And sometimes you're going to feel that this is too intense for you, as even I am drawing my knees down to the ground, already closer to the mat. General population, sometimes our knees are not even that far, and then they're just up here. I have two blocks that I brought with me so that I could demonstrate with you some of the things that you could do at home. Maybe a pillow, maybe a book, and again, you're just opening out to where you could rest your knee. And your feet, you don't want the soles of the feet to come together. You actually want it to open like a book, facing under the sole of the feet towards the sky or the ceiling. You could place your hands even around your hips, right here with your elbows, and you can arch or round your back down a little bit, just kind of feeling this out for a while. I know some places you'll probably rock it back to forth and all that. I think for me it's just best as a health and wellness practitioner is to keep it equal and to keep your equilibrium and your whole nature of right and left in a steady, equal place. And so this is one of the things that I like, especially for men and gentlemen or ladies with very, very tight iliac crest, the groin area, the ischium, the reproductive area. Some of our hips are shaped differently. This butterfly pose is such a restoring pose. It's restorative. And now just sitting here is helpful for that to begin with. So here we are, sitting still for a moment. If you don't need the block and you think you're growing, you can move the block. And you can always also begin to press your hands sitting this way, reversing your palms behind you, and maybe you're here, and drawing your chest forward and allowing your knees to just fall down to the ground with your chest nice and tall and strong up. That's one way when we're sitting down to warm up the body. Let's say you're going to be going on a big hike, bicycling, hiking, or any whatever sports or athletic things that you're doing. Okay? So this is known as a butterfly pose. Again, you can take an option to also get deeper, and as you're folding forward, you're learning to really press your forearm down onto your thighs or your hip where the hinge bends. And again, really just taking the arch down to the floor. Good. And other than that, place your hands behind your back and you can press up, growing that slowly. Okay? Now, we're going to put the feet together and we're going to come up and show you some beautiful, energizing awakeners to your hips that will help you enjoy your daily activities each day. So, and we're going to open about 4 feet away from the right heel to the left. This is known as Trikonasana, the triangle pose. When you point your right toe towards the right, about 90 degrees, you want to learn to just drop without hinging and pulling yourself away from the hip. You just want to kind of take it and drop naturally. If your hand only leaves you to be here, wonderful. This is the beginning for the hip helpers, the hip openers, the hip therapy part of the yoga practice, how it's therapeutic. You can also begin to raise your arms, and this is all that you can do. My right thigh is turning internal. There are muscles here that help hold the structure of the hips steady. You can open and hold your lower back. For some of you, that's too much for you. I also, like I said, brought a block, and you can place your hands also on the block and dropping your palms down. You can continue to hold your lower back or begin to just stretch your arms up. You don't have to try to gain perfection right away. Take your time, breathe with it. Inhale, coming up. Pivot over, and again, you can begin to slowly bend your knees, but you want to stretch and strengthen that left or right leg, and again, be where you could be today. Let's say you're just here right now. Hold your lower back and feel yourself grounding your hip down towards the earth. Raise your hand and see if that helps move a little bit more energy for you. Again, slowly, as you're getting deeper and deeper into your practice, you're probably going to start to melt down a little bit more. And then as you get stronger, yes, you could start to grab your toe and pull it up, but also if that's not possible, you could also take the block and begin to help ground your triangle and help your hips. This is truly a wonderful, amazing asana posture for the hips. So let's complement that. Let's go ahead and go back to the right side. Another one that you could use, let's say, you really have a tight area of your hip and your groin and just your psoas, your SI joints, which is really flared up, or your sciatic. All of this area are located here in your lower spine, your vertebrae, your L spine, along with your hip area and your S joints, SIs. So again, this is known as the warrior or the lunge of side angle pose, where we bend the knee. Option is you could maybe rest your hand for a moment and just go back and forth. I also expanded my stance to about 5 to 6 feet, because again, I'm about 5'7", so the taller, the more I could open wider. I'm just going to rest my elbows, my arms, onto the top of my thighs, and maybe a soft gaze to the left shoulder, if that's okay. And bring it back. It's going to be intense in the beginning, because it's going to pull right here somewhat in the femur, where the hinge begins to move. And for, again, tight ischium, iliac crest area, you're going to feel a lot of heat opening there. Again, mobility of the knee, maybe little at a time. You're just learning. How should your knees be? This is a little bit too far back. This is coming a little bit better. You really want to get about here to stack up the knee to the ankle. And that's why we then tell you to rest your elbow and hold the posture steady here, and see if you could lock that into place, and soft gaze again to your right shoulder. And again, mobility, just nice and graceful, coming back, okay? Let's start that one more time. Go back to your right knee. Come in a little bit deeper than that lunge, maybe a little bit right there. Take your gaze to your shoulder. You have an option to either keep your arms straight up, or some of you can stretch, and that will help your shoulders as well. If that's too much for you, just hold your back, and again, press onto the knees. And the thighs, sorry, not the knees, but take your left side. Again, lunge, go slow. Inhale and exhale, breathe into your space. Hold your lower back, again, if that helps you. My back foot is grounded, heel to heel or parallel. And again, lunge, and again, open straight or open over, and again, coming back. So these are amazing postures that you can do to help you with your tight hips. And here's a couple more. So let's go ahead and pivot back to your right and turn your back foot in. You can also take a warrior pose of Virabhadrasana. And that is when you take your lunge, or you can drop your knee and drop the top of your feet. And again, you can press forward and just feeling like, ooh, I like that. And then again, sitting it back. You can even move your feet back so it's fully 90, okay? And again, lunging forward, and again, back. Again, lunging forward. I'm using my right side first. This is my right hand, right knee, and again, back. Good. To change position, you want to just pick up and maybe shift back. And again, mindful balance. You got to try to work coordinatingly your whole body there. Again, option when you sit up is when you'll know if you're right at that 90, which is there. Option again, just placing your hands down on top of your thighs, like, ooh, so good. And again, sit back, all the way down, really lunging. And again, sit back. I really like this. And then from here, sometimes I'll even just stand up and draw my back heel down. And I'll press my knee, and I'll even begin to start a warrior here. And then also, I'll begin to start a warrior there. So, you'll have to do that on the other side. So again, bringing your right side and lunging your knee, bringing up your hands. And then again, opening and taking the warrior position here. Or you can even motion that down and again return if you like this part. And then again back. Good. Well, that's just some techniques. If you only have 5 to 10 minutes of a day and you need to get out to your activities, I know that that will help you. So give it a try. Stay tuned for more yoga therapy tips and tutorials to a healthier body, mind, and spirit. Aloha, namaste.